Okay. There's a delay. Okay. Okay. Say I'm live, right? Okay, here we are. We are live. Welcome to the fourth session of Watercolor for the Absolute Beginner, Fall 2021 at the Ocean County Artists Guild. We're setting up. We're using the other half. Last week we did some trees, some birch trees. Okay. Oop, wrong way. All right. Last week we did some birch trees, and this week what we're going to do is we're going to learn a fun technique for creating deciduous trees, trees with leaves or needles or whatever in the distance. But first, what we need to do is it's gonna get really messy. So I'm gonna put some tape on the other half of this, and we're just gonna practice. Use our other half to practice. Some of us have new pieces of paper, and that's fine. And of course, again, I forgot to get some water. Make sure that everybody has. Before I go any further, I'm going to include a picture photograph here that we're going to use for inspiration. So I have to add an image. And trees, I'll do trees. And let's browse to that. I'm going to use this. Okay. Okay, so we have to minimize that. I'm going to put this in studio mode real quick so that we're not. Oh, thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Thanks so much. All right. So I'm going to be adjusting this picture before we go because it came in really huge. It's kind of a high-res type photo, I guess, that I took. All right. Here, and let's transition that. Okay. All right. Okay, so I have I masked the top. I'm going to turn this around because it's a horizontal type format. And again, we're just going to be practicing. So actually, all I really want to do for now is we're going to be working upside down. Okay. I should probably flip the photograph upside down, but we're just using it for inspiration for color right now. We'll flip it upside down. Okay. So what I want to do is I don't really want to make this. I'm just going to tape this here. And I need to be careful because for that a little bit. Tear off a piece of what paper? Tear off a piece of paper and use it as a mask for this technique. Now, I'm going to use because I'm not used to this to be practicing bring it down so that we have a little bit more water underneath to play around with a reflection later. But for now, we're not going to worry about any reflection.
piece of tape underneath or board, it's a little bit elevated. Because they want to take advantage of gravity in order to enhance our ability to use this technique. Okay, I'm gonna come around and show you. Represents below the tree line. So we're gonna make it small like that, make it smaller. Okay, yeah. And it can be, okay. This is gonna be the bottom of your table. And that's gonna be your land. We're gonna match out the land. That's what we're doing. We're covering the land part. Because it's gonna get really messy. We're gonna be doing paint. Okay, so we're gonna be working here. Yeah. So I have to do it this way. Right. Masking that so that you can work. Yep. The masking is underneath the trees, but in order to do this technique, you have to turn it upside down and work it that way. I don't. You don't really need to, because it probably won't go, so just coloring it is fine. A little bit too. This is my take it off, like, and I did want to, like, put it, like, kind of like on the edge, you don't have to take there. Just make it, okay. We just want to make sure we're masking that area where the land is. Line, the land, meets the trees. Okay. And below that. We're masking below the tree line. Going. Okay, so I'm just working with colors. For this technique, we do want to have any of the colors that we want to use. We need to have them mixed ahead of time in separate pans. So, so if anybody needs more pink, good time to. That's a question. How dirty can you allow your paint to get before you change it? Like from dipping it into different colors, it gets so adulterated. Well, what you could do is to clean it, you could spritz it and use, a paper towel or a Q-tip to, yeah, to, unless for whatever reason, but I always try to blot out the contamination, I would call it. Definitely. Anybody who needs whatever colors you want that are all forward. So
All right, so I'm gonna go back to, let me go back to here, and I will pick, there's that picture, nope, that here. Okay, I'm gonna put this here, sorry. I'm gonna put this picture up in the corner here so that we can see that. And put my palette. Hmm? Let's get that here, put that over there. Okay, so that we can see better what we got here. Okay.
Any of the blues with these two, the other yellows are a little bit light. And what happens is, well, I see yellow, green. I'm gonna put my round brush here to mix some colors up. See what I want to do. I got the cool yellow. Put that up there. We want to make sure we mix enough. And let's see. Then I'll what kinds of red? I always see different kinds of red. Sometimes I see the bright red. Right? And then other times you can see the deeper red. It's so, and you can make it all warm, like if you want to just focus on yellows, oranges, and reds with some green accents, that's fine. And you can decide what again. Okay, so I mix up colors. I have my man over here masked out. I'm going to put glue tape underneath. I have my colors over here. And the next thing I need to do, well, I want to get some clean water first. You need to have some significant problems there. So this is a little bit.
don't have to worry too much. Check my stream. Might be better off putting my colors over here. You can see it better what I have. Okay. Here. So I'm going to take the mop brush. I'm going to wet the paper first. Because you do need wet paper to do this, to make this work. Yeah, this is a mop brush. It's that somewhat back to I have one brush here. I'm so confused. Are you doing a water now? Yes, I'm putting the water on the paper. You put it on top of that white or just try to no, just below it. Maybe just below it. No one. Oh, there's no one. Okay. We're just that's all it is. So before this gets, see, I see some I'm so satisfied. Okay, so I have my paints mixed up, and I'm going to start out with, some of this yellow. And what I'm going to do is I have my hand like this, and we're going to swing, swing it in some way. So this is where the tree line is, so I want this to be, and you kind of like go up and down a little bit as you're, to make it not so regular. I'm using a round brush. You can use the round brush that you have.
wet, it's gonna spread a lot. So we need to be careful. What you need to be careful with is, you don't want it to get too muddy. So we're gonna and then maybe I'll put in some of the warmer yellow, and I'm gonna do that. So I'm concentrating right at that line where where I masked off there. You can see it's starting to come. It's got that feeling of these. When I use the darker colors, you'll be able to see it better on screen. So I have yellow, and it's really starting to recently. So when you first get your paper, you don't want to get too wet. You don't want to go crazy with it being too wet. You just want to moisten it enough so that it'll spread a little bit without having too many hard edges. And it's upside down, so gravity hits over and it'll start to drip a little bit. So then I can go in. All right, so now I want to put some red in there. And maybe I don't put red throughout the whole thing. Maybe I just, kind of, just like in the photograph. In the photograph, there's red in some spots. So red, in some areas, but not all of them. You see how it's going all over here, right? Maybe I want there at the bottom. So it's starting to come alive there. And then I want to use some of the deeper alizarin crimson. Maybe I'm going to add that to in the areas where I got red. I'm not going to too crazy with it. Just a few, and then just let the watercolor do its let the water do its thing for the paint. It'll start to it'll spread, and it'll just automatically create this atmospheric feeling of trees automatically. So you're like, I'm waiting for this. You don't with the brush. It's flat. You're like it needs something to stop. You need to hit it with your hand or another brush handle. Okay. Like oh. Yeah. Before we got hitting it against something, and you have to hit it against something, and what happens so that the droplets fly off the brush. You did say fling. Fling. Fling, fly. Well, yeah. I like to. That's why I have to practice. It's a little bit weird. It's not something. Some of you may have never done that. Tried that, right? But if it hurts your hand to do it, take that big brush handle and use the because I realize that not everybody is a brute like me. So. Do whatever I do. Think about that all the time. And if it happens that you're making a real mess on the outside and a little bit, and I think I want to go ahead and build some of this up. Now, I didn't mix an orange, but I can start to see some orange. So think about that too. The fact that okay, you don't necessarily have to mix every single color that you see because what happens with this technique is that colors will mix, meld together, and some of that magic will happen on its own, which is why it's so much fun to do. Like this is another example of letting the watercolor work for you. And you to do this by with a brush,
manually, it's just not going to be, it's not going to be as random. It's going to look a lot more contrived. This looks so much more natural. And then here, I have some green that I mixed. So let's see what happens. I'll try to put that in where I have more yellow, maybe in some areas. I don't want to go crazy. And what happens with the green a little grayed out, maybe a little bit muddier, but that's okay because then that gives it more depth too. Make sure I get that in. More pink. I like the cerulean blue with the warm yellow. Looks pretty good. More like a full green. And trees are wider at the bottom, so I can. You do have some controls, like I can, select a wider piece, and then as I move up to do maybe the rest of the tree, it can get thinner. I have all that going on. Really exciting stuff going on here. So I'm looking upside down. Get my webcam thing going. We're going to take a walk and see what we all have. Oh, I'm looking everywhere because it's practice. Yes, you can put in the last color, and we'll let it dry a little bit, and then I'll show you some other things that we can do when it's like like almost dry. Okay, all right, so here we go. I'll give you a close-up. These are the colors that I use there. And then here is, let me put that up. Let's put this up for a minute, get out of studio mode. Okay, and this is the actual little abstract trees. So let's take a walk. We're going to take a walk on the wild side. Okay, so I'm looking at this upside down, but that's a nice impression right there. Yeah. We have our strip of land there, and we have some, okay. Let's see.
If the paper gets too dry or something here, right?
Oh, if your paper gets too dry, you can spritz it with your spritzer, and that'll reactivate it. Yep. There. Good job.
I messed up on that one, so I shouldn't.
Oh, that's okay.
But I like the way that looks, but it doesn't look like that.
Looks like maybe your paper might have gotten a little dry.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's why you don't see the spread. What you can do is you can take your spritzer, right? And Here, I'll show you this. See? We
Oh,
can-
and then it'll smush a little.
Yep,
Oh, there you go.
So,
Thanks.
yes. So if it's not spreading that much, it's an indication that your paper, oh, wow. It's an indication that your paper is a bit dry and you might need to spritz it. Now, that looks really cool. That is really cool
Oh.
looking.
It doesn't look like trees, but you know, with
It can, it will, we can make it. Oh, let's see, let's look at this upside down. Wow.
Oh, well.
I love
don't
the
have
beautiful impression.
enough. Oh, wow.
That's gorgeous.
I think you're talented.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That looks beautiful.
Ooh, these all look so neat.
They're all
I
different.
love it.
Look in the camera.
It's so much fun.
But that's mine?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so
We're
much
looking at it
better
right
up
side
there.
up. Yeah. So
Oh,
let's go,
wow.
we're gonna take a look at, we'll take a look at Mary Lou's.
no, it's just not happening.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yes, it is. Watch, look, you got the beautiful impression of what's in the distance. It looks like, almost like fog. And then what's closer to you, like here and here is like what's up more close, where you can see it more defined. Having that variety is beautiful.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I love, okay, so now you're getting some more definition. So this is going to, it'll dry a little bit, and we'll still be able to get more interest into it. Like, we can get more, as it dries, if we don't wet the paper, that means that if we slap more, it won't spread as much. So we'll be able to get more definition into the trees. Like right now on mine, it's like really, there's a lot of spread here and not a lot of texture. So my next step would be to wait a few minutes for my paper to dry some more, so that then when I slat a little bit more on there, it won't completely diffuse like that. It might still be softer. It'll still be softer, but not as spread out, and I'll be able to get some more of an impression of, leaves on the branches. So that would be our next thing to look at, to practice. Okay? All right. Okay, so I'm going to take a break. And while we're waiting for this to another thing that we can use, we can use too, is a credit card. Uh, hmm? Oh, or even like the end of a brush too, you can use. This one has the brushes that I use have that cut off handle where you can use that as well. But this needs to be a little bit drier. And what we could do is either with the end of the brush handle or the credit card, you can scratch in some of the branches and the tree trunks with it. Okay. I want this to, let's see if it'll work. I don't know if it will because it's, I go in here. Oh, yeah. It's not something that I necessarily want to overuse. Yeah, it's not falling in on itself. As long as the color's not going to fall in on itself, we can, make these, a few impression lines here. So we can get some texture in there. Let me bring this back up. Yeah. See, I use the credit card in there. You can see, some of the faint lines just by. Let me try the end of the brush, one of these brushes. Yeah, that works too. Works fine. Now here, more flat. You can do more slatting, but what I'm gonna do here is, let's see, I'm gonna take some darker blue into my paint here, my green paint, and I'm gonna go in and nail some stuff right now. Uh, with a credit card, but since it's not gonna spread too much, I can go in and I can put in some heavier random type pattern with my brush. So now that's gonna be more defined. Plop that in, and I can go back in with the red, like more concentrated paint here into the reds even. And I kind of like the way red right here, and I can come in and I can, put in, be sketchy, be very loose with it, and you'll be able to get, similar feeling. Add like a redder bush over there. So I have, so now I'm starting to have trees that are in the distance that are like faded out, and then I'm starting to develop in the foreground these other trees that are heavier and darker. So that's the atmosphere perspective. I have muted, faded out colors in the distance, and as objects get closer, they become more defined and more blue. So that's the atmospheric effect. I could still do a little bit of this. Thicker concentrated paint in my paper isn't as wet, and it's not going to dissipate as much. But I like it. I just a little surprised, but I like it. That's okay. Yes, just be patient and the challenge of this is, is to try to not touch it too much. Because if you touch it, like over here, I'm not real thrilled with the way that looks. I think I'm gonna muss that up a little bit and get that. I think I like that better now. Over here. So it's not, that's a little bit wet too. I love the fact that with this technique, uh, it does give you the opportunity to make things not look so overworked. I mean, with it, it just takes a few minutes to get, this feeling of a forest.
And later on, if I wanted to put in a blue sky, after this completely dries, we left the sky is just white, it comes out gray. You can go in after this is completely dry and you can put in a blue sky if you want a blue sky. You have all the bases there for the beautiful trees. And I still think for darks. See, one of my things is I like it when we're not afraid to go dark. What I may do is, okay, I might take some of this red and I'm going to make it really deeper, almost really dark green. So if I mix, okay, red and green are opposites on the color wheel. When I mix a little bit of the red into that green, it makes it really, really rich and dark. It kind of grays it out some, so we have to be careful. But I'm going to try to pretend that this is a little bit backlit. And I'm going to put some of this really deep green in here. Maybe I'll put some underbrush, brush into that in some places. Shade one side of this tree better. And again, we're just building some more depth. But again, see some of the parts here look a little bit too wet. Still, a little bit too much spread. So I'll probably have to go revisit this, but that's okay. The same thing with red. If you want an even deeper red, I can take some of this and maybe I'll just mix some of that on the side and almost kind of browns it out a little bit. But underneath where there's like some brush, I can add all of that. Mm-hmm. Real exciting. Something spread still more details. I just to me that looks look at. It creates this sense of peace and ease. It's a because this is not so long. It is. And it won't let me down. I actually made the recent painting in Peaceful Easy Feeling. It was on a sailboat. And yeah, it was a peaceful, easy feeling that I had. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Add to that. Oh, what I was gonna add was sometimes when we labor on something and we work it and work it and work it, that the end result is that it looks that way, right? And that's what it'll look to the viewer. And sometimes we need to think about how we create these images and how we feel when we're doing it, and just acknowledging that if we feel that certain way, it's going to show in our end product. So if I was having fun doing these trees and I wasn't overworking them and I was being, free and all that and happy, then that's going to show in your final product. If if it was agonized over, overworked, and there was too much, I don't know, too much angst, really, it just always just ends up showing up in the end. So the trick to this is just knowing when to stop and being patient enough to wait for the paper to get dry enough in order to create those other effects that you want to get, like making certain areas darker, having certain, I have, you know, there are some hard edges. There are a few hard edges in textures and then there are some soft. Now, once this is done, I can go back and I'm going to use a little piece of natural sponge. We can also use the natural sponge to print some really, texture defined trees in our foreground. But that's not going to work right now. So we're not, we have to resist the temptation to do that because our paper, in order for us to maintain that texture, our paper has to be pretty dry. It's more of a dry process. So, but using that dry process along with this is going to help me create a painting that has so much depth. When you have that nice faded out stuff in the background, right? And then you have these few things in the foreground that have all that texture. It creates that feeling of distance. And this here is it's that atmospheric perspective. And we don't see the individual leaves on the trees, but we feel them there. We feel them there. We have that impression of them there. And we have these almost like ghost images in the background, and then somewhat more defined here would be our middle ground. And when we print, some more forms, maybe with a sponge, for instance, and you can also use a brush, but this is also a lot of fun to use to try. That's going to give us even another layer of depth.
Oh, let me bring that picture up again. Okay, so now it's just a waiting game. We have a waiting game. Oh, take a look. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so let's let that dry a little bit before we try anymore. This nice balance of stuff going on. Yep. Lots of great texture, great colors. Now you learn the softness that I see here. Okay. Let's put other stuff going on here. Okay, because it's trying to get me dry. We can pretend, okay, this is a white spot. We can pretend that the light's coming from that direction. And we can add more shooting to some of those trees or raw. That would be something to do. I think it's going to be dry over this now. Oh, wait, that's great. And then we can add an area out. Yeah, it's not exactly. I can see that because it starts touching. Yeah. That's what it's yellow. That's what it blobs of. Well, then we just know better the next time, that's all. But it's not, it's still an easy one. That's better. Yeah, that's fine. So, that might actually. No.
Yeah. I need a drip. Oh, yeah. Those are new colors. That's actually more realistic to what we're seeing now. Everything's starting to turn all around. And different colors. Yeah. Okay. That's. Okay, all right, so let's, I don't have any drippy paint, so I can take this bottom part off to see what my land is like here. What I ended up with, well, I have some, but that's all right. See, so now I have land. Right? So what can I do with that? Well, we know we can paint it. We can paint. We can make it grassy. Let's see. Let's make it grassy. I'm going to need more of this lighter green. Get some of that. Warm yellow. I need that to, dry some more before I go back into it with anything else. So let's see. There. I'll just wet this first and then I'll go into it loosely. Because really the star to show are my trees. Right? That's going to be the star. So I just want, some kind of a loose impression of. And I like the way, okay, if I'm wetting it next to this tree line, and I like the way it's running. I actually kind of like that. Actually looks pretty good to me. Huh? What? Oh. Oh, mix another color. All right, so now I have this, which is, I'm just going to put an impression of some kind of grass in there. I'm not drawing grass. That's not, I'm not really interested in that. Did you wet the foreground first? I did wet it. You can choose to, paint it however you want. I like to wet it because I want it to be soft because I don't want it to with the texture of my trees. And then, oh, there's some dark. So I think I'm gonna put some darker green towards the bottom because, again, as you move down the picture frame, it gets darker. So I want to, that'll help me get that impression there. Just going to be kind of gestural with that. Maybe I'll do like a here and there just to give the impression of there's some kind of texture. But actually, I kind of want, I want to include some shadows from those trees. So I'm going to mix again like a gray, some kind of grayish color. And if I'm using green as my base, then I'm going to add some red to it, maybe a little bit more blue. Be more violety. I can do that. That might. Cool blue with a cool red. That's already up there in my trees. Let's see. I want the impression of some there. These are going to be shadows, not reflections. So
put that in. So I'm still, you know, building up my depth, my feeling of light and dark. And there's a little bit of a break. It's almost like a little bit of a path, maybe. Maybe it's a deer path that's going through the middle there. So I'm going to leave that light. But right underneath the trees here, I'm going to make that kind of dark. Scattered light. So it dissipated a lot. I still want to get some more dark. I'm going to wait for that to dry a little bit. Now I'm going to go in when it gets not completely dry, but almost dry. I'm going to go back into those shadowy shapes, and right where those trees meet the land, I'm going to put a deeper dark in there for a shadow. I love the feeling of light that I have in this, so much so that I do not think that I'm going to put much blue in the sky at all, because I kind of like that bright light feeling that I have there. If I do put any blue, it's very, very faded on the top. I get some green water, and I am going to put a little bit of sky there. So we're not going to blast this like giving it a real defined trees. So now I'm still waiting for this to get dry. What you make a dark green? A very dark green is for the dark blue, really dark blue, you know, with a touch, what's up, more yellow. And this is okay, so this I find is very dry. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just mix a faint, maybe just a little bit of cerulean blue here. I might take some of the, it's getting a little bit of grayed out from some of the other color, which is fine. I just want to I get the mop brush, and I don't want to go, I'm not going to go far into my trees there, because all I want is just a faint impression of the blue, and I want it to quickly fade. And maybe I'll leave some open spaces too. Clouds. So I want to leave that. I don't want to disturb that. I like the way that looks. And that's it. I don't need much more. Very, very faint amount of blue. I'll make it a little bit darker for the video just because you can barely see it. So I'll make it a little bit darker here, but other than that. That's I think that's pretty good. There we go. Hopefully this is, let's see how that is. Let's see if this is, oh, you know what? What I thought was in crimson isn't always in crimson in my palette. Haha. It was it was, I forget what the color is called. All right. All right, let me get this together. All right, so I got the, ooh, the deep. Let's get some blue. A little bit more of the, I think it was Gamboge that I had in there. Ugh. Not that it was a bad color, but not really what I wanted. All right. So what do I need here to neutralize this? I need some more yellow, so let's move it in there. There we go. A little bit more blue. Okay, so now that's really nice and dark. Let's go back into this. There we go. Let's see, let's reactivate this. Wetted the sky first after it was dry, and I just concentrated the blue towards the top, left them blank, to show maybe there's some clouds or something. But I didn't scrub it too much and blend it with the rest. I just left it kind of just. Let's see. I'm going to try to print my little. Let's get this muddy color out of here and get some green. Behind. And I'm going to get some of the cobalt blue, I guess. And take some of the red. I wanted a touch of red, but not quite that much red. Ooh, that's a nice violet, but okay. I got a bit of a muddier green. muddy green. I can get some of the brush. Let's see what happens. Ah, okay. So here, I like the sponge to add a little bit more texture. Start out, got it really good. And let's get some of the red. We can get some red in there. To test out my, that's a nice texture, so I can get some texture in with some of the reds that I have here. Just a little. That's that. And I can take the smaller, small round brush, put that in, and since I have a brown that I can use and actually go in, you could put in some drag it, change direction, to make some chunks randomly throughout. Put in some branches if you want. Now this is, it's pretty dry up there now, so now I can go in and I can do that in random places, but I don't want to overdo it. Slightly make an impression of some of these branches. Like you can always use your finger to tap on it and make it look a little less prominent. You feel like it's taken over, but that's pretty much all we need to do. I can still go back in with the credit card again, or the edge of a brush, and make more texture if it got lost somehow. But I think I'm stopping. I like the way that looks. For an exercise, not bad. Now, next time, what we'll do is we'll try to do the water scene and have not only just have the technique of the trees, but how to get the reflection of them in water and give that impression. So that'll be the next step. But I think it was enough for us today to just play around with the tree technique itself. Yeah. So what I would suggest you do, if you need extra paper, I'll give you paper. If you could practice it on your own at home, because it takes a few tries to really get it and realize that I do have a certain amount of control with this. I can, if I slat in a certain direction, or if I keep slatting in a certain area, and I can move it around, like get a feel for what you can do and what the limitations are. Try doing it with, like I said, like in here, what we tried to do was using when the paper was at different moisture levels. Like when we first started out, it was really moist. And then discover what happens and how the watercolor spreads when it's not as saturated, the paper. And that understanding and doing it and seeing it is very, very helpful to gain really well, to gain a lot of proficiency with using the technique. I just find that it's just, I just love the effect that it gives watercolor paintings. Um, it really does create, it can help you create some really beautiful, realistic, atmospheric effects, even though it's something so random. And you could also have the option of keeping it abstract. It doesn't, that's where the beauty of it is too, is that, it's loose. You can do loose, you can do it loosely and abstractly, or you can use it to make something realistic. It's just such a great technique. And I think it really does showcase the beauty of watercolor in contrast with what we can do with our opaque mediums. Watercolor is so magical in the way that, again, what I've said before is watercolor will do the work for you if you let it. And this is another example of how this medium can work for you.
Watercolor really shows stuff in flowers.
Yes. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Did I know? Well, Leona, I think she does a lot of flowers with her watercolors. She's done that, and I think we have a new instructor that does a lot with flowers. She's done stuff with flowers too. No, I don't know. Susanna,
A little bit.
a little bit of everything. That's good.
But,
Yeah, yeah. I usually that's one of my doing the apple. That's like a classic project that I've done.
no, just one very basic one. Until we started doing that. Oh, let's take some pictures. That's bizarre. Okay.
See what we got. One more time. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna go around. Let's see. All right. So I got this little sample, and then we're gonna see how we did.
No, you don't have to take it.
Oh, sure. I'm not gonna take. Okay. So we have the beginning of something beautiful. Let's take a look.
I thought it was maybe the end of something horrible.
Nope. Good. Yeah. Nice. Fun. What? Huh?
She's leaving, she's gotta catch a bus.
You gotta catch a bus?
I'm just joking, there's a lot of pictures. Yeah, I never quite got the, like, so mine just is a completely different thing. I mean, I like it, but it's not that.
That's okay. Well, like I said, with more
But I love
practice,
the
you'll
way
be
it
able
just
to
all mushed together. I kind of like
Yeah,
that. I mean,
yeah.
it's not, you don't have the perception that you want, the foreground and the whatever, but
with a few additions to this, it could kick it up to the next level. So
I really enjoy doing it there.
yeah, it's so much fun to do. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite techniques. Another beginning of something beautiful. Let's see. Ooh, nice textures. Ooh, it looks so botanical. I love the botanical feeling of this. Gorgeous.
I was trying to,
Yeah.
like, I could see your trees and I could see them. Mine seem more,
That's what I did for mine.
You have
No,
more defined
more
shapes.
defined.
But that's
And I-
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I like that part of it. I just ruined it.
Oh, that's all right. Well, we'll get it, we get another chance next time.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I have a
Cool.
girlfriend that's going for a certificated program for botanical.
Oh, nice.
She's unbelievable.
Yeah, oh, I bet. Yeah, botanicals are so beautiful.
There's a certificated program up in New England.
Oh, wow, cool. Well, okay, that seems to be, that's all we have today, folks. Until next time, we're gonna do this, we'll do this technique again next week, except that we are going to have a reflection. We're gonna add that to our toolbox. Take care. We're adding to our toolbox the ability to not just do the trees, but have them reflected in water. Okay? So that'll be fun.